My beloved, do you think it's an accident that you're hearing my voice right now? No. Heaven planned this moment long before you took your first breath. Here on Holy Voices, we share the whispers of eternity, the messages that change hearts and awaken destinies. If your soul is ready, stay with me, because what you're about to hear might be the very word your spirit has been waiting for. Heaven records every act of faith. Even your $20 click on Super Thanks and Holy Voices is written in eternity. At the moment, they are enraged at this individual. I'm referring to a fury so great that it's destroying their entire group from the inside out. They're fighting over you. Relationships ending spectacularly, screaming confrontations, and accusations flying. They are now paying the price since the issue went too far. When they initially made the decision to target a chosen one, none of them could have predicted how deep this would go. They first became uneasy with you months ago after noticing anything about you. Perhaps it was your innate charm, your capacity to spot dishonesty, or just the way opportunities seemed to come your way with ease. They determined you needed to be brought down a level or two because of whatever made them jealous. When they established their small alliance, they believed that having more people would give them the advantage over a single individual. They first became uneasy with you months ago after noticing anything about you. Perhaps it was your innate charm, your capacity to spot dishonesty, or just the way opportunities seemed to come your way with ease. They determined you needed to be brought down a level or two because of whatever made them jealous. They established their small coalition. They believed that having more people would give them the advantage over a single person. However, this is where their strategy started to fall apart right away. They didn't realize how protected you and other selected ones are spiritually. The cosmic ledger was keeping track of every action they took against you. Every deception they committed, every plan they devised, and every second they spent attempting to harm your reputation added up to energy that would eventually need to be counterbalanced. And that equilibrium is occurring at this very moment. There's one member of their group, let's call them the whistleblower, who has had enough. At first, this individual supported the attacks on you and may have even helped with the deception and manipulation effort. They believed that they were winning. They believed that by dragging you down, they would somehow improve their own standing. They were utterly mistaken. The whistleblower, who knows they have information that might ruin everyone they've been working with, is sitting in their room right now, staring at their phone. They are struggling with a choice that will alter the course of their lives. They will have to make a decision that will shake the group as a whole in roughly 3 hours. Regarding anything, they will be honest. At the same time, another member of this alliance, someone who attacked you with especially ferocity, is seeing that their own life is unraveling at a startling rate. Compound interest is boomerang back to them from the energy they threw your way. Their closest bonds are breaking down. Their reputation in the workplace is being scrutinized. They're going through what can only be called a total spiritual collapse. This individual believed they could harm you through supernatural means. They spent time, money, and effort on strategies that would deny you your blessings and take advantage of your opportunities for their own gain. The fact that people like you have built-in defenses that not only deflect these attacks but also send them back to their source multiplied is something they were unaware of. They're currently coping with the fallout from all of their bad intentions toward you. The anxiety attacks, the restless nights, and the fact that nothing seems to go right for them these days. All of this has to do with their choice to go to battle with someone who is protected by God. However, as the plot progresses, it becomes very captivating. This is an issue involving a family. People who have a strong animosity toward you but portray themselves as respectable members of their community. They have been working in the background, disseminating meticulously prepared tales intended to harm your reputation and repute. This family's decision was a grave one. They believed you were alone and that you had no allies or support networks to be concerned about. They believed that their version of events would be regarded as fact and that they could influence the story being told about you. They devoted months to this campaign, believing that by undermining your interests, they were defending their own. They didn't expect the truth to come to light, particularly when it comes to those who are chosen. Any persistent attack against you will ultimately be revealed and neutralized because the universe has a stake in defending and uplifting individuals just like you. In the most surprising way, the exposure is taking place. Uncomfortable questions have been raised by someone in their own group, perhaps a relative who at first backed their campaign against you. They have observed contradictions in the narratives being told about you. They've seen that rather than producing the desired effects, the attacks against you appear to be causing turmoil in their own family dynamic. This member of the family is going to learn something that will completely stun them. They will find texts, papers, and probably even recordings that demonstrate the systematic nature of the attacks, as well as proof of the organized campaign against you. They will respond quickly and forcefully once they recognize the depth of the deceit and manipulation that has been occurring within their own family. The family will instantly become divided as a result of the discovery. While some members will be appalled to discover what has been occurring in their name, others will make a valiant effort to explain their behavior. Overnight, the togetherness they believed they had would disintegrate, to be replaced by blame, accusations, and a total loss of confidence. This story has a love component as well, which gives it even more depth. When they realized you wouldn't reciprocate their feelings, someone who was romantically interested in you joined this alliance against you. They decided to exact retribution rather than gracefully accept the circumstance. This individual persuaded themselves that they would ensure that no one else could have you if they couldn't. In an attempt to sabotage possible romantic relationships before they could blossom, they started circulating personal lies about you. They believed that by establishing oneself as the expert on your true identity behind the surface, they were being cunning. Their campaign was a complete failure. Not only did their falsehoods keep you from developing deep relationships, but their infatuation with you exposed their actual nature to everyone in their vicinity. People started to observe their obsessive obsession, their propensity to disseminate unsubstantiated rumors, and their incapacity to overcome rejection. This individual is currently experiencing total social isolation. Since realizing the destructive pattern of behavior, the friends who first listened to their stories about you have begun to turn away. Their credibility and emotional stability have been irreparably tarnished. They're learning that you ruin yourself when you fight a war against someone you've picked out of envy and wounded pride. The most startling revelation is still to come, and it has to do with learning how far this group was prepared to go in their effort to harm you. There will soon be evidence that they tried to sabotage your chance for employment, your living arrangements, and even your family ties. They made fictitious accounts in order to track your internet behavior. They disseminate misleading information among your network members. They attempted to undermine your own network of allies. Their plot will be so vast that even they will be taken aback when it is all revealed to them. They lost sight of how deep they had descended into compulsive destructive conduct because they were so focused on their goal to pull you down. Part of them knew this day would arrive, and part of them has been recording the group's activities as insurance. Screenshots of group discussions where strategies were discussed are available. They have phone call recordings of coordinated lying. They can provide proof of the money spent in an attempt to harm your opportunities and image. When this information is made public, it will have a cascading impact that ruins reputations, professions, and relationships in a variety of social circles. People who attacked you believing they could remain anonymous are going to find out that someone they trusted was recording what they did. The aforementioned family is on the verge of going through a civil war of its own. Their relationships will become permanently strained as a result of the incriminating proof of their concerted effort against you. Kids will no longer respect their parents. Siblings will not communicate with one another. Their own acts will totally shatter the family unity they believed they were defending by attacking you. Here's why they find this situation especially heartbreaking. They're recognizing that during their entire campaign against you, you never struck back. You remained honest. You didn't employ the identical strategies that others utilized. You didn't attempt to ruin their chances or ruin their reputations. They tried to stop you, but you just kept developing, changing, and excelling. They are being crushed by this understanding since it makes them face their own reality. They deceive themselves into believing they are the virtuous defenders they are. When they attack you, they are not defending anything of value. They are only individuals who allowed fear and envy to lead them to act destructively, and now they are paying the price. The romantic saboteur is coming to terms with themselves. Evidence of their compulsive conduct toward you has come forward from someone they trusted. Texts in which they express their desire to destroy your joy. Audio recordings in which they plotted how to harm your chances of finding love. Social media posts that demonstrate how much of your private life they are monitoring. They are going to share this evidence with their mutual friends and possibly with the people they are currently courting for a love relationship. They will be unable to build constructive relationships with anyone who knows the truth because their pattern of compulsive, vengeful behavior toward you will become widely known. As you bless this ministry, you bless yourself. Sow into holy voices with $20 or more and trust God for your harvest. The supernatural assaults on you have backfired in ways they can't even imagine. The individual who made the investment to attempt to obstruct your spiritual development is currently going through what can only be characterized as a total spiritual breakdown. They wake up screaming from their dreams. Doctors are unable to describe the physical symptoms they are experiencing. They're losing their sense of reality, their sleep, and their weight. They're finally realizing that you don't simply fail when you use evil tactics to strike a chosen one. You allow those same negative forces to enter your own life. All of their bad intentions toward you have come to pass in their own lives. Every barrier they attempted to put in your way has appeared in their own path. Even they are surprised at how viciously the group is turning on one another. Their apparent togetherness was never solid. It was based more on a common goal than on a sincere bond. They're searching for someone to blame now that their campaign has failed and the repercussions are getting worse. There is a lot of back and forth over who should have spoken up when things got out of control, who pushed the group too far, and who came up with the worst ideas. They're learning that plots based on animosity and envy don't produce enduring relationships. They form short-term coalitions that break down as soon as pressure is put on them. As the whistleblower realizes how nearly they and everyone else were destroyed, they witness this implosion with increasing terror. Doing the right thing is no longer the only reason for their desire to come forward with the truth. It's a matter of survival. They understand that continuing to support this group will mean sinking with the ship. You have been following the opposite course in the meantime. You've been creating something lovely while they've been focused on destroying you. Since the beginning of their onslaught, your life has been growing in ways that would have seemed unthinkable. You've been getting opportunities. The depth of relationships has been increasing. Clarification has been your goal. This is not an accident. When the chosen ones are attacked, this is how the universe reacts. Others' efforts to undermine you are channeled into boosting your development and increasing your impact. With each falsehood they spread about you, more facts about your personality came to light. Better opportunities found you because of every opportunity they attempted to obstruct. In addition to fully proving your innocence, the proof that will soon be made public will act as a warning to anyone else who might think about attacking a chosen person. The evidence of their campaign against you and its fallout will serve as a case study for why targeting protected people invariably leads to self-destruction. The height of the family civil war is near. After gathering all the evidence, the member who learned the truth about the campaign against you is getting ready to face the family leadership. To create a moment of reckoning that will be remembered for decades to come, they intend to present everything during the upcoming family get-together. There will be instant and long-lasting divisions when the truth is revealed. Some family members would sever all ties because they are so appalled by what was done in their name. Others will intensify their animosity toward you and refuse to accept the wrongness of what they did. The once-present family togetherness will be relegated to a memory as irreconcilable groups take its place. The passionate saboteur will soon have their own public moment. They will reveal the proof of their compulsive behavior toward you in a way that will be visible to their existing romantic partners. When the person they are currently pursuing realizes how obsessed they are with you, they will instantly cut off all communication. Because it will validate what everyone already believed but was too polite to say out loud, this public humiliation will be more heartbreaking. Believed their failure to move on from you exposed significant flaws in their character that prevented them from being an acceptable love companion for anyone. Spiritual teachers refer to the attempt of the supernatural practitioner to utilize evil tactics against you as the return. Every malicious intent they directed at you is being magnified and returned to them. They're coping with relationship breakdowns, health concerns, and money troubles that don't make sense unless you consider the spiritual forces at work. Finally, they're turning to spiritual advisors for assistance, and they're getting the same advice. You invite divine correction into your own life when you attack someone who is protected by God. Making apologies is the only option to halt the downward cycle, but they are hesitant to do so because of their pride and fear. When they targeted you, they were finally realizing what they were up against. You weren't just another individual under their authority. You had a mission they couldn't stop and a destiny they couldn't change because you were a chosen one working under heavenly protection. Their collapse was inevitable, not only tactical. The universe cares too much about your success to let a bunch of envious, scared people stand in your way. Their efforts to stop you were a waste of resources that could have been put toward bettering their own lives. Something even more explosive has been happening in the digital world while the whistleblower has been building the guts to come forward. The group's digital footprint has been generating an evidence trail that is poised to lead to their demise, and their communications were not as safe as they thought. 3 weeks ago, one of their alliance members made a crucial error. To someone they believed they could trust, they sent a group message with specific plans for damaging your professional reputation. That individual took a screenshot of the communication right away and started surreptitiously examining the scope of the conspiracy. They found something much worse than they had anticipated. End race is 1. Mike, the creator of the Holy Voices and Inner Order powered by Astral Atom, has sent the statement below. Look, I understand that you came here to watch the one video you selected, but I need a moment. I might never be able to forgive myself if I don't say this into the field right away. Some of us were abused, banished, born into flames, and plagued by facts that no one else could accept. That does not imply that we are doomed. It indicates that we were selected to enter the Holy Voices and Inner Order through the veil and return with the map. Every week, we get together in person via Zoom. I mean it when I say real people. A former military drone operator now controls the device with his thoughts. A rich CFO in Noosa gave up everything to pursue a career as a psychic. A diabolical cult once imprisoned a spiritual healer. A sage, a seer, a soul who discovered the gnosis after abandoning Mormonism. When their calling struck, these are the people who sacrificed everything. And that's only a sneak peek. Additionally, all calls are recorded. Thus, you can hit play and experience the field once more while you're by yourself, crawling through the muck of your own waking. Perhaps this is for you, but it's not for everyone. Do you think you'll fit in with us? Join the Inner Order of Holy Voicesans. The description contains a link. We appreciate everyone's support of the broadcast. Without you, we literally could not accomplish this. Everything that they could locate has been methodically documented by this outside observer. They found that the gang had constructed several phony social media accounts with the express purpose of tracking your movements and disseminating false information. On your professional sites, they discovered indications of coordinated review bombing. They discovered a common document in which the team plotted their interference tactics and monitored your daily movements. The most incriminating finding was a voice tape in which the matriarch of the family stated clearly their intention to obliterate that individual's chances of success in this community. The tape contains detailed directions on how to make the story sound real, which lies to say to whom, and how to time the lies for optimum effect. waiting to be disclosed at the ideal time. This evidence is kept in a safe folder. The individual who collected it has been keeping an eye on the group's growing desperation and internal strife, scheduling their disclosure for when it will harm the conspiracy the most while shielding potential targets from harm. This proof will soon come to light in a way that will take everyone by surprise. This outside observer, who has no allegiance to any of the group members and no interest in preserving their reputations, will make the reveal rather than the whistleblower as was anticipated. Something even more unsettling about their campaign against you is revealed by the digital trail. They weren't merely criticizing your present circumstances. They were ruining possibilities before you even realized they existed in an attempt to stop you from succeeding in the future. To guarantee that you would encounter rejection and difficulties everywhere you went, they had penetrated social groups, professional networks, and even dating apps. Their failure is so complete because of how sophisticated their operation was. They put a great deal of time, effort, and organization into attempting to influence your fate. But as a chosen one, your path stayed the same. Better doors opened as a result of each door they attempted to close. Stronger ties formed as a result of each relationship they attempted to sabotage. In the end, each falsehood they spread about you exposed more aspects of your personality. When this digital information is made public, platforms and law enforcement agencies who take coordinated harassment seriously will begin looking into it. The members of the organization who believed they were anonymous will find that digital breadcrumbs trace their true identities back to them. They face permanent harm to their reputation, legal culpability, and career repercussions. Because it will demonstrate premeditation and coordination at a level that turns their acts from personal drama into something that can have legal repercussions. The family's involvement in the internet campaign will be especially painful. The proof of their systematic harassment will be proven, recorded, and preserved for all time. Another group has been quietly suffering during this entire tragedy, while the key conspirators are poised to face their reckoning. The defenseless individuals who were tricked into joining the anti-you campaign without fully comprehending the purpose of their requests. Every seed carries a future. Your $20, $50, or $100 gift through Super Thanks into Holy Voices is a future blessing waiting to unfold. Members of the core group approached these people and gave them well-crafted tales about you. They were informed that you were a danger to their community, that you had harmed someone they loved, or that you were controlling those they wished to keep safe. They received insufficient information to fully comprehend the extent of the scheme, but enough to feel justified in their involvement. Some of these individuals feel uneasy about their involvement and have been harboring guilt for months without knowing why. They felt that there was a problem with the narrative they were told, but they were unable to ask serious questions because of pressure from the core group. They have been observing the growing mayhem and questioning whether their activities led to something they never meant to encourage. Simultaneous disclosures on their true involvement are imminent for 3 of these coerced people. One is to listen in on a core group discussion that exposes the depth of the falsehoods they were subjected to. The digital evidence that reveals the campaign's systematic nature will be sent to another. The third will observe the paranormal effects on the core group and come to the realization that engaging in attacks against you infused their own lives with negative energy. When these 3 people review their notes, they will find that they were all given various versions of the same false narrative. They will realize right away that they were duped into supporting something they would not have if they had known the truth because the contradictions will be so clear. Since they will be reaching out to other individuals who were similarly controlled, their response will result in a secondary wave of exposure. A network of duped individuals will form in a matter of days, each contributing their parts of the puzzle and recognizing the extent to which they were manipulated and lied to. Some of the most powerful witnesses to the organized nature of the campaign against you will be this group of people who were previously deceived. Since they have no motive to defend you or target the core group, their testimony will be especially compelling. They merely wish to correct the record regarding their deception and exploitation. Since they believed that those they controlled would stay faithful or at the very least keep quiet, the core group never saw this coming. They had no idea that the persons they had lied to would later compare and cross-reference their lies. They never anticipated that a network of witnesses would be assembled against them as a result of their own deceit. The extent of the conspiracy and the number of people impacted by the core group's deception effort will become clear when these coerced participants begin to speak up. When the entire extent of the harm they attempted to cause is revealed, it will become even more clear that they were unable to harm you and that their impending punishment is warranted. For months, several of these coerced volunteers had been doubting their own morality and judgment, wondering why their behavior made them feel so uneasy. They will feel both relief and rage at the realization that they were systematically duped. Anger that they were used as weapons against someone who never earned their animosity, and relief that their instincts were correct. The evidence against the core group will include the psychological manipulation these innocent people endured. Professionals in mental health will be able to recognize the strategies employed to entice unwilling participants, demonstrating a degree of deliberate manipulation that transcends personal drama and into the domain of systemic psychological abuse. As these manipulated individuals confront how their innate protective instincts and compassion were used against an innocent person, they will require their own healing process. They will have to make apologies with you in order to recover. More significantly, though, it will entail learning to believe their own gut feelings when a tale they are being fed seems off. When all is said and done, you will still be standing precisely where you were always supposed to be, higher, safer, and pursuing your goals. They will have to cope with the mess they created. Realizing for the first time that when you fight a chosen one, you lose more than just the fight, you lose yourself. Their campaign against you will serve as a warning about the perils of allowing fear and envy to lead you to act destructively. For you, however, it will just be another phase of your chosen one's journey. A chapter that demonstrated your fortitude, validated your safety, and equipped you for even bigger challenges in the future. This is your triumph, your validation, and your vindication combined into one heartbreaking realization that will alter everything for all parties. Everyone will soon be freed by the truth, including. Beloved soul, if this message has spoken to your heart, don't let it end here. Click that like button so the light can spread to more people who need hope. Subscribe to Holy Voices so you never miss the next word heaven has for you. And leave a comment below. I read every one, and I pray over them. Remember, faith grows when we share it, so share this message with someone who needs to hear it today. Until we meet again, may God's peace cover you and His voice guide your every step.